All right. Amazing. Just waiting for us to be live on Instagram. Okay, I think we're good. Have you ever felt like no matter how much iron you take, you still feel exhausted or foggy or struggle with heavy periods? If that sounds like you, stick around because the answer might be more than you think. It might not be more iron at all. Imagine your body like a delivery truck. Iron is the package, and it carries oxygen to your cells to keep you energized and to keep you healthy. But here's the thing: copper is the delivery driver. Without copper, those iron packages get stuck in the warehouse or your tissues. They never make it where they need to go. And so if you're left feeling exhausted and frustrated, even when you're told your iron levels are fine or that you just need to keep taking more iron, this could be the reason why. I talked to a lot of women, and this was my experience in the past as well. I went to my doctor because I had really low iron, or sorry, I had really low energy. I had fatigue all of the time. And my doctor ran my labs and said, "Oh, your ferritin's really low." He said, "Oh, you're a 4," and he wants it a lot higher than that. He's like, "I actually don't even know how you lift your head off the pillow every day." And what we need to understand is that minerals work synergistically in the body. And so it's not just about how much iron your body has, it's about, does it have the other tools that it needs to be actually be able to use the iron properly. So if you're dealing with brain fog, really low energy, and another one that I see a lot of is really heavy periods. And often when women are dealing with really heavy periods, that's actually blamed for why you're having low iron issues, because doctors will look at it and say, like, "Oh, you're losing so much blood every month. This is the reason your iron levels are so low." There's another important caveat here as well. If you're a woman who is on the birth control pill, which I know today many women are, I was on the pill in the past as well. My doctor actually put me on the pill to try and regulate my cycles because they were so heavy, which led to negative implications as well. But if you're taking the birth control pill, you're not actually bleeding every month, not a regular flow and cycle. It's a breakthrough bleed that happens between when you take the sugar pills at the like to make it to the 28 days. And so women are meant to cycle. And so if we're not cycling regularly, you're not actually able to move minerals in the body like you should be. And so often this is what's going on when women have the really heavy periods. And if you go to your doctor, yep, this was me too. The suggestions, like I said, birth control pill is the first thing that they often recommend to regulate your cycle. Pumping the body full of hormones is not an effective way to balance hormones. That's the first caveat there. Why is your body not cycling properly? Number 2 that they recommend is an IUD. Yes, this stops the heavy flow for most people. Some people still have their cycle and can still have periods even while taking this or on this. And so if you have an IUD and you're still having really irregular cycles, definitely reach out to me. This is something that we need to talk about because your body is desperately trying to create homeostasis or balance in your system. And so number 3 is something that I look back now and I regret doing because I didn't know more at the time. And so if I did it all over again, would I make a different choice? Very possibly, because this is one of the women reason that women live longer than men is that we're able to cycle. And so we're able to move minerals and push things out on a monthly basis. And so when I went to my doctor with really heavy periods, my period history is pretty extreme. I had crazy heavy periods when I was in my 20s. Then I had no periods for 5 years, which a very highly respected gynecologist told me was probably in my head. um, what? And then my periods came back with a vengeance. And I went to my doctor again, and it was like, okay, so you can do the pill. Nope. I had a very negative reaction to that in the past. It was nearly fatal. And then copper IUD was another suggestion, or the third was a hysterectomy. And considering my life, and I knew that I didn't want to have kids, I went for the hysterectomy. And looking back, and now knowing that this is part of the reason why women live longer than men, is because we do cycle and we are able to detox in this sense on a monthly basis, I probably would have made a different choice. And so, if you have really heavy periods, this could be your body trying to regulate and move minerals throughout your system. This is why you get a really thick endometrium lining. This is why people often have clotty periods. Many of the women that I work with, clotty periods and really heavy periods, which is embarrassing. uncomfortable, really draining, and can pretty much ruin your life for multiple days of the month, which is frustrating. But the whole point here is that there are other things we can do. And often when you have this is when women will end up on iron supplements. And taking more iron can actually make things worse rather than better. And so the symptoms that will often happen when women have um, a lack of copper, as I was saying, like copper is required for the body to be able to use iron properly, to be able to take the oxygen that iron's trying to deliver to your cells and actually move it into where it's going. Because without that, oxygen doesn't move properly. And so the body isn't getting the benefit from it. That's why we can have symptoms like constant fatigue. Brain fog is another big one. Cold hands and feet. I remember I always used to talk about that's a thyroid connection. And yes, there can be a thyroid connection there as well. But if your body's not moving minerals properly in your system, there's going to be hormone imbalance. And so, yes, cold hands and feet, adrenals, thyroid, those are both hormones, right? Your female hormones as well. So, the really heavy periods, the really painful periods, the clotty periods. Thinning hair is another one that can be very much connected to if there's a copper deficiency and the body's not able to move oxygen properly in your system. And then, yet your blood work keeps coming back as normal. That sound familiar? That's definitely been me in the past. I'm actually doing a webinar on Wednesday night as well that's talking about your blood work is normal, but you don't feel normal. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that doctors commonly miss when this happens. So if this is something you're interested in, I will drop the link for the webinar in the chat below this video. But I also want to suggest to you, if this is something that you're dealing with, book a free discovery call with me. This is the kind of thing that I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you and see what is going on in your system. Why are you having these things over and over again? I talked to a client this morning and she was on iron pills or had very low iron when she was a baby. What is going on there? What is going on in the system? And how can we set your body up so that it can regulate things properly again? Because, yeah, there's going to be hormone imbalance for sure. If the body's not moving minerals properly, there's going to be low energy, there's going to be brain fog. You're just kind of going to feel like garbage if you're not able to get the energy that you need. Because if the body doesn't have energy, it's not going to function properly. So sometimes iron supplements can actually throw off your body's balance, which leads to hidden copper deficiency. So without enough copper, your body's not able to use iron properly. And it's like having all the supplies for a project, but no one to actually build it. So if you're a woman who's dealing with heavy periods, with fatigue, with brain fog, and you're tired of just being told to take more iron, let's figure out what's really going on with you. Let's book a free discovery call today. You can send me a DM. If you're on Instagram right now, if you're on Facebook, it is in my bio on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's in my bio on Facebook as well. And let's figure out what's really going on with you. Uncover what your body needs to feel like itself again. You don't have to just continue to live with these symptoms, even if you've lived with them for a really long time. Just no one has been able to help you figure out what's actually going on. And that's what I love doing, digging in and figuring out what's the cause, what's the reason you're having the symptoms that you're having. Remember, it's not just about piling on more supplements. It's about finding the missing piece. So click the link in my bio or send me a DM if you'd like to learn more. Also, I will drop the invite in the comments in as many places as I can. So you can, if you're interested, you can join me for the webinar on Wednesday night. It's at 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about your blood work is normal, but you don't feel normal and what you can do about it. So hopefully you got some value from this. I know so many women deal with iron deficiency. I mean, we don't have the minerals in our soil in terms of iron, in terms of copper, in terms of there's vitamin A, there's in the form of retinol, not beta carotene. Sorry, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, animal source vitamin A is going to be the best option here. Whole food vitamin C, like there's a bunch of different things that we need for these minerals to be able to work properly in the body. So hopefully you got some value from this. As I said, if you're interested in joining me for the webinar, you can check out the link in my bio or you can send me a DM and I'd be more than happy to get you set up for that. And if you're interested in a free discovery call, reach out as well. Enjoy the rest of your day and I will talk to you soon. It's Kate from Align Natural Health.